Hey, good morning everybody. It's Mike. Thanks for jumping on here with me this morning. Let's get started today as we're continuing a conversation that I've kind of titled, How the Real Estate Industry's Betting Against Us. And they are, and I bet many of you feel it. Even if you can't quite put it into words, you still feel it. Well, all this week, I'm going to see if I can put it into words for you. You tell me what you think. Yesterday, we discussed this concept of fees and the model that companies are using to make a ton of money off charging you little bitty fees every month and every transaction. And basically, it just works like this. A little bit of money times a massive amount of people is a whole bunch of money. Especially if you don't do anything, if you don't spend any money, and you just mosquito bite everybody to death. Today and tomorrow, I'm going to go a little bit different direction for you and see if this resonates with you, if we're able to put into words what you kind of have been feeling. And so I'm going to try to tackle this whole concept of teams and how it's being used to distract and manipulate you, both from the view of being on a team and then tomorrow as a team leader. In either role, how are you being manipulated? Well, let's see if we can figure it out. First, being on somebody's team. Well, there's two reasons why I can think that an agent would want to be on a team. Number one, training. I want to learn this business. I want to understand what I'm doing, and I'm hoping that by being on this person's team, they're going to train me and mentor me. Okay, all right. I think that's a very valid reason. I admire the agent for recognizing that and for seeking it out. I just kind of wonder why your brokerage doesn't do that. Why aren't they? Isn't that their role, or is their role just to hold your license and charge you little bitty fees all the time that annoy the daylights out of you? Why doesn't the brokerage just do their job and train? And the second point that I've always wondered on this is, my gosh, if you want and need training, I admire you for that, but this is the most expensive training on the planet. You've sought out training that exceeds what any other training program out there would charge you. So I hope that you're getting a lot of time and attention and mentoring from that team leader. And if you are, and you can justify the enormous expense of it all, then okay. And if you're not, you're paying top dollar for very mediocre at best training. The second reason I think is a valid reason too, because I think the number one problem that almost everybody has is, I don't have enough customers. I need more business. And that's the big lure from teams, is if you come be on our team, we will keep you with a healthy supply of customers or leads, right? Okay. I mean, yes, these are internet buyer leads and the success rate is incredibly low on this stuff, but you will have an opportunity, a swing at the pitch. I guess, first off, my first thought is, okay, but what's there that you couldn't just do for yourself? I mean, they're just going out and buying leads from lead generation sources. Couldn't you go to the same places and buy the leads for yourself and not have to pay the team leader their cut for this? And the answer that I hear most often to this is, I could, but I'm not sure who and how to do it. I'm like, well, then I come right back to the first part, which is, what's the role of your brokerage that you're affiliated with? Is it not to help you understand this? Okay, so yeah, there's really not anything there you couldn't have just gone and done for yourself and saved that huge slice that you're going to share with that team leader. Second of all, I would say while every agent in the industry, and there is no exception to this, everybody has a customer acquisition cost. I just think that when you're on somebody's team, your customer acquisition cost is the highest in the industry. I've just never quite seen anything more expensive than this. So while I admire that you recognize that you need more customers, you've chosen the most expensive way to go about it. And here, I'll prove it to you this morning. So here, in my grubby little paws, is a settlement statement on a recent transaction. And I just pulled it up because I thought it was a pretty typical example. And in this example, you've got a purchase price of $285,000. Okay? The gross commission income, the total commission to this side of the transaction, which was the buyer side that was negotiated, was a gross commission of $7,620. $7,620. Okay? Of which, out of the $7,620, the agent that was on this team that did all the work, they had to capture the lead as a customer. And then they had to show them homes and negotiate the offer and get them through all the due diligence and the closing period. They had to do all the labor, right? And for that, out of $7,600, the agent received $2,050. $2,050 out of $7,620. That means, I mean, public school education here, but I think I can do some basic math. That means the agent's expenses on this transaction were 74%. The agent kept 26% of the commission. 74% expenses on this transaction. Or said another way, the agent paid over $5,600 for this transaction for training and for leads. Over $5,600. 74% of their income. And that hurts my soul in a special kind of way, because if you came to me and said that you had 74% business expenses last year, I would immediately want to do an audit of your business with the full guarantee that I could at least cut your expenses in half without touching your income. This is the most expensive way for a real estate agent to run their business. And this is why I started the call off by saying, is the real estate industry betting against you? Sure they are. With this agent in particular, their brokerage pawned off the training and mentoring to a team leader because they didn't want or they didn't know how to do it. So they convinced this agent that the answer to all your problems is to go be on this person's team and they'll train you. Well, what's the point of the brokerage? And then the team leader, they didn't spend $1 for the lead generation. See how it works? All the team leader did was make the arrangement with the lead generation source. The agent who did all the work paid for the lead generation. Plus they paid for the team leader. Plus they paid for the brokerage. Plus they paid for all the fees. What did anybody provide to the agent in this case? Right. If you feel like me, which is not much, then what I would want to say to this agent is, why don't you get yourself better aligned? Why don't you align yourself with a brokerage that will help you understand how to become a competent agent and help you understand how to generate business and cut out the 74% business expenses, which after 35 years in this business, what I would say is at least double what an agent's business expenses should be. At least double. In many cases, much more. This is how I think the industry's playing us, folks. The brokerage has pawned off their responsibilities, and the team leader's going, well, if I can get you to do it and you do it, then I'll do it and I'll keep all the money. And the agent's left saying things like this. Well, Mike, this $2,050, this is better than nothing at all. And I'm like, no, it's not. And it's not really $2,050 because you haven't figured in your usual and customary business expenses like gas and insurance and maintenance on your vehicle. $2,000 isn't better than nothing at all. And when you find yourself thinking like that, you're being played. And I hate that our industry has evolved to this level. And it's why I'm so committed to helping you think about it differently, take a different strategy, and go out there and make it happen for yourself today.